Yo, today I'm gonna be making Soto Ayam, classic Indonesian chicken soup. Let's go. So, Soto Ayam is a classic Indonesian soup dish. Actually, one thing that I learned from the great chef William Wongso, he was saying that Soto just means a soup in Indonesia because I think there are about 75 different types of Soto in Indonesia. There are many types of different Soto, but I think there's about 75 different types that we know. Let's see, the popular ones would be like Soto Madura, Soto Bandung, Soto Solo, Soto Lamongan, Soto Kudus. So this type of Soto, they're like Bandung, Madura, Kudus, Lamongan. It's just a name of, it's a city names in Indonesia. So every city has their own different recipes and the way they make Soto. But at the end of the day, they're all called Soto, because it's a soup dish. For example, like Soto Bandung, the soup is more clear, and it uses radish, and it uses fried soybeans as the condiment, where compared to Soto Betawi from Jakarta, it uses cow milk and it uses beef for the protein. So there are different types of Soto in Indonesia, right? But there's one Soto stand that we had back in my high school. We had a Soto stand in front of our school, and it was so good. One thing that what I can remember is, I think it's just a classic Soto. It's yellow color, and I understand now why it's yellow is because the bumbu or the spice that they use bumbu kuning. So it's the same, if not very similar, basic paste that they use with the ayam goreng that I made on the last episode. So today I'm gonna be making Soto Ayam with bumbu kuning. I'm gonna be using the broth that I got from the fried chicken that I made on the last episode. I'm gonna try to mimic the Soto Ayam that we had in front of my high school and see how it come out. Alright, so check it out. Here we go. So first I prepared what I'm gonna put in my Soto Ayam. I shredded some fried chicken that I have left over from the last episode. I have a leftover cabbage, and I just cut a couple slices of tomatoes like this. And I get my water ready, and then I boiled a couple of eggs for about 6 to 7 minutes for a hard-boiled eggs. And I grab my vermicelli and quickly blanch them for about 2 to 3 minutes. Make sure you don't overcook them. Then I set them aside and change the water to make the sambal for the Soto Ayam. I'll post the full recipe for this sambal on the description. So I set them aside and I start grinding them with my ulakan. And then I add a half teaspoon of salt, a pinch of sugar, as well as some cayenne pepper powder just for the color. Until it goes like that. And I add some of the hot water from the pot and mix it all well until it looks like this. Give it a little taste and that's it. The sambal is done. Now I'm gonna prepare my broth. And so for the broth, I'm using this broth that I have left over from the fried chicken that I have on the last episode. So make sure you check out my last episode to see how I make this broth, because the only thing that I did for this, I just add a cup of water, I heat them up like so, and then I add a couple pinches of salt for the taste. Then I give it a little try to make sure the broth is on the salty side, because I'm gonna pour this broth over what's gonna be in my soto. Now it's time to plate it. And to plate it, first I put some vermicelli in there, and then my fried chicken. Add some raw cabbage. Then I slice my hard-boiled egg in half and throw it in there on the side. And then I add a couple slices of fresh tomatoes in there. That's it. Then I get to my broth, I mix it up a little bit, and then I pour them on top. And then for the garnish, I have a chopped green onions mixed with cilantro, some fried shallots on top, and then last but not least is to add a couple squeeze of lime in there. Yeah. Pretty easy, right? Alright, so there we go. Soto Ayam. I got my plate of rice. Usually they give you some sambal on the side. Got some kerupuk bawang, of course. Some sambal in there. Woo! I'm excited. So usually they give you a plate of rice on the side, you know what I mean? Sometimes people mix it, but that's how I remember eating the soto right in front of my school. Wow. It smells really good. The soup is not too thick because I added more water at the end. But here we go. Let's try it out. Yeah. Oh. Woo. Yo. Wow, that came out really well. The vermicelli, or what we call it, bihun or soun, gives you really that nice texture, you know what I mean? Cause it's kind of like noodly, so it's extra protein basically, or extra carb. But the chicken is already good, as you already know, cause it's already marinated and cooked. So the chicken itself already has flavor. And the sambal is really good. In my memory, in Bandung, when you order something soupy, you know what I mean, like soto or bakso, like, you know, like noodles, they always give you this kind of sambal. And the way they make it, they just boil up the ingredients instead of frying it. So it'll mix really well with your dish. Sometimes, you know, some people, it really depends how you do it, you know what I mean? I like to put the rice and eat it over here, but some people put the vermicelli on there, on the rice, give it a little, Oh, I was so excited I forgot to say selamat makan. Let's get it. So good. Really fresh. It's like really fresh, really comforting. So it's really fresh, really comforting, warm. Wakes you up if you put some sambal, you know what I mean? But such a good combination. Really recommend it for winter time, especially. Honestly, this is probably the best soto I've ever made in my life. Came out pretty good. Got my soto ayam, plate of rice with some sambal to kick up the heat, some kerupuk, manyus. Selamat makan.